Good evening, everybody. My names still remain the same, Dr. Chukwuma Inosendu. We want to talk about logistics today. As I highlighted earlier on, supply chain covers 4 specialties, and all of them are strategic. They are not operational, as was the case in the past. In marketing, we used to say that until the goods get to the customer's hand, production is useless. So distribution is an issue that we have to be worried about, particularly with the emergence of information technology. He's also a member of the distribution family. So things and time in business environment have changed. So let's look at issues we need to. Why I'm interested very much on logistics, like as I said, it covers distribution, it covers information technology, and it covers internal operations in companies. So you can see from what we saw, about 60 to 70% of the cost of operation were incurred in logistics, and many companies took it for granted. If you go to a production company, you will acknowledge what I have said. It's overpopulated by people rendering logistics services. Go to the area of marketing, go to the area of material management, go to the area of external distribution, just to mention very few. You will see the cost of operation emanating from these areas in a manufacturing company, even in service industry. So we have to be worried how to contain and control the amount of money logistics is governing from the organization. I have painted important issue here. Like as I said in marketing, until the goods get to the hands of customers, no production has been completed. But the question is, at what cost? At what cost is this distribution engulfed from the bank account of the manufacturing companies? At what cost? So we are still in the supply chain management, and we are still in re-engineering. The first area we need to be interested in managing logistics is to see how we can unify the activities and the processes from logistics scattered all over the company. Like as I said, in a manufacturing company, logistics can take as much as 40 to 60% of cost of operation. My brothers in the other profession, they have done marvelously well to see how the cost can be contained. But what we are saying is it's not enough. It's not enough. Like we say in the business community, because accounts balance does not mean the best has been done. There are still lacuna out there that need to be managed effectively. So the first thing a supply chain logistics manager should do is to see how we can bring these activities from logistics together to form a bulk unified cost of operation than allowing the old school methods to continue to triumph. So we need to do what I may call intra-organization and intra-operation. We need to bring them together, unify them together, to do away with the old theory of Adam Smith that balkanized logistics activities. The other one we need to do is interoperation and interprofession need to be unified again before we go into management of the activities. Is this function that has scattered all over different departments need to be brought together, bringing what I may call integration. We need to integrate them as against balkanization. Because what can generate money is when a function is repeated in so many ways in an organization. It's not the best. It's not the best way of managing that. So we need intra, we need inter, we need also to bring together what I may call similarities of activities balkanized in so many departments. We need to bring them together to form a unit of control. It's an issue, like as I've said, it's a very serious issue. In my experience, we discovered that about 40 to 60% of the cost of operation we are spent on logistics. And don't forget the language of marketing. Until the goods get to the hands of customer, production has not been completed. So we have to make sure that, yes, this is a necessity, but we don't need to spend too much money to ensure that the goods get to the ultimate consumer. So at the end of the day, what is our gain? So we have to bring these fragmented activities together to form a complete unit before managing costing them. Not to leave them fallow as the present system suggests. And the person going to pay for it is workers and shareholders, particularly when there is issues concerning bad management. So it's not fraud alone that can close a company. It's when the medicine of management administered to a company is not commensurate or linked with the type of sickness the company is going through. So like as I said, let's start first, like we started in procurement, in integration, integrating these fragmented activities together to form a unit before we start thinking of what to do to reduce costs. Though this area we have mentioned is also cost reduction system, but it's not deep enough because the money is not spent too much on processes but on activities. It is activities performed in companies that we need to be concerned about. So after this unification, we now achieve bulk sum of money to be managed. The method of managing them, we have mentioned them in the last lecture on the engineering, procurement. But in this one, we are still in supply chain, but now concentrated on logistics. We first integrate them, bringing similarities together to form a bulk before we can apply the principles of Penrose and Benny. in managing this. The other thing we need to do again is also to make sure that similar activities that are in different sister companies and organizations are also united. I'm not a what do you call it, human resource person. In cost management, we are very much interested in longevity of the company to ensure that the company and the shareholders survives the company, not the other way around. So bad management is not good, and nobody is interested in them and all that. So they have to be brought together. These issues we are discussing, they are contrary to Taylor and Henry's theory. Taylor was an engineer, so of course he operationalized engineering teaching. It worked. In those days, it worked. But times and things have changed. We can't continue with that method because it's not customer based, it's engineering based, it's operational based, and to a very large extent, it did not go deep enough to help in ensuring that the company survives the owner tomorrow and next. So another issue we need to be concerned about is the unification of or bringing together of activities of transport operation in the company, because it's logistics. In some cases and in some instances, the company may not need to own transport. What the concern of the company is distribution. Anybody can do distribution. It may be outsourced or it can be internally managed. But let's do the needful by bringing them together to form a bulk and have the power to negotiate with transporters we are going to recruit at the end of the day. Because in my training, when you are doing what is not bringing money perfectly well, you have lost all. You've lost all. The shareholders are not interested in hearing that it was perfectly done. How much money did you bring in? So when a unit or a system or an activity is allowed to be balkanized, who gains is suppliers, either internal suppliers or external suppliers. So there is difference between operational activities and marketing activities. In logistics and marketing involves a lot of distribution cost. They have to be. We are not saying they should be closed down, no. But we have to keep indoors, doing what customer prefers than following a template that is not value added. I don't know, but it pains as a shareholder to see a company you set up closing down tomorrow because of bad system of operation. And we are interested in this. So when you look at some this in the organization, you see distribution, internal distribution and external distribution, like Professor Porter talked about. They are still left as Henry left them many years ago. We have not even begun to talk about the engineering, but here is federating. Is federating something together. Wetin happen? Where don't go?